Okay, before you say anything, let me. Yes, my hair is so bad. There's really nothing else I can say. It's really bad. I am aware of the situation. Bear with me for today, okay? So, after filming last episode about loneliness, I kind of thought of something else that could fit under that category, but also could be like a whole other video in and of itself. And that's the urge of just like wanting to restart your life and like distance yourself from a lot of people, only keep like a select few still in your life and just like restart. And I feel like I've had that urge for so long, and I think it comes from the fact that I moved so much as a kid. Also, I'm sure you noticed it is daytime now. So everybody's walking past, and this is really outside of my comfort zone. Anyways, um I think it comes from the fact that I moved so much as a kid, where like restarting was kind of like a routine. It was like a process, like a cycle almost. And it happened so many times, and now I think I've just been like stationary for so long where like I need that restarting to happen. Um and obviously not to like a full extent because I want to keep my closest friends to me. But at the same time, by my closest friends, I do mean like three people. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Okay. And I feel like it does go with loneliness because obviously like restarting, purging everybody. Um, Purging, is that the correct word? Don't really know. But like restarting, cutting people off, and like being a whole new person, I feel like there's so much power in that, and it's both like good power but could also be like detrimental. Um so I'm kind of like in the middle, and I don't know. Also, I've been listening to a lot of Phoebe Bridgers lately, which is pretty nice. Well, I don't know if it's nice. It's pretty sad. But there's that going on for me. What else do I have going on for me? Oh, I have 4 out of 5 of my courses pretty much already passed. I think I need like a 5% in most of them, like 20% max to pass.
Bueno.
But then for physics, cooked. Absolutely beyond just beyond saving. I do need like an 85 in order to pass that class. Now with saying this, I got a 30% on my midterm. So if we just analyze the fact that I need to somehow learn an extra 55% of the course content, plus make sure that I remember that 30% that I somehow already knew, we're pretty cooked. We're pretty cooked. Praying to God that I pass physics, because if I don't, it's really gonna mess me up in the long term. Pray for me. I think that's pretty much it. Let's just start the video. Okay, so this week I kind of just planned out like sharing some of my personal like life views, um because this is now my 4th video, and I realized like you guys are probably going to hear a lot more about my life and about who I am as a person and the thoughts going on inside my head. And I just figured like it would be a good idea to just list off some of the views I have about life and about people. And like the three main views I believe in. Now, to preface this, I'm not saying that all of these beliefs are true. I'm not saying I believe all of these, which is kind of like an oxymoron. I'm saying I really want to believe in a lot of these. Some of them have truth. And I think overall, taking them at face value brings nothing but good aspects. Okay. That's where I want to like just make sure we're all on the same page. So the first one is religion. I grew up in a Catholic household. I went to Catholic public school from junior kindergarten to grade 12. Okay, I went to church on Sundays, celebrate all Catholic traditions. I would say I would call myself Catholic. Now the thing is, I think there is beauty in believing in God, and I think there's beauty in believing what the Christian faith has to offer. I think there's beauty in loving others like yourself and walking the path of Jesus. At the same time, I feel like I have such a personal bias, like in my mind, to believe that there isn't a God, and I want to believe in God more than anything. And I've tried everything to just fully put my whole faith in there being a God, but at the same time, such a strong bias not to for me, and I don't really know where that comes from. I just physically can't, and you have no idea how much I want to. Um Now, like I said earlier, I don't think there's any negative sides to believing there is a God. But many people have made it negative, even when we talk about like racism, homophobia, the Crusades, countless genocides. Like, trust me, I know people have made it bad, but at the same time, I do believe that that's people not really taking the main aspects of Christianity and molding some of the like lesser ideas, because they're not even the ideas in the Bible. They're the ideas being twisted into a very negative light, and that's where a lot of negative comes from. So I don't think there's bad in believing in God, and I don't think there's bad in following a Christian lifestyle. I think there's bad people, and I'm just going to end it there. Next one. Okay, so that's kind of like the main one, right? Like my religion side, the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, love your neighbors as yourself. I think all of those have like very strong, like positive aspects. They only add positive aspects to your life. If you treat others good, you're going to be treated good. If you love others, then there's no hate. You know what I mean? Like, just love other people. I think that should be pretty self explanatory. Okay. The second one I want to go through is something I heard like when I was a kid. And it was somebody saying, like, imagine you, your soul, before being born in this lifetime, gathered a bunch of other souls, and you said, this is what I want to learn in this lifetime. This is what I want to hurt in this lifetime. This is what I want to gain in this lifetime. just imagine your soul going through different lifetimes, and each time it wants to learn something new. It wants to just become the best soul it can, okay? Gain all the knowledge from life. So before you were born, you gathered a bunch of people and you said, I want you to teach me what it is to love and then lose. And I want you to teach me what it's like to be hurt by a friend. Okay? I think, like, when I heard that, I was like, that's absolutely ridiculous. But there's such a beauty in believing in it because all of the people who have hurt you in the end have taught you a lesson. All of the people who have loved you have taught you a lesson. You're a mural of everyone you've ever loved. You're a collection of everyone you've ever loved. And quite frankly, everyone who has hurt you. If I didn't have my childhood best friend hurt me, I would be a completely different person to who I am now. And I think there's beauty in that. I think there's beauty in believing that your soul asked to be hurt because it taught you something beautiful. It helped you grow. And I think with this like mindset, you do kind of get like an appreciation for life as a whole, and you get an appreciation for how far you've come as a person. Like, I know for a fact I am not even close to the person I was a year ago, and a lot of that has been positive growth. I've become more emotionally intelligent, and I really like I think one thing that has really helped me grow is having this mentality along with the next one. This is like the big one, and this is the one I'm going to spend like a lot of time talking about. The last one is humans work in their own best interest. And you are only friends with people who benefit your life. Like, I know, like, the thing is, it's so hard to explain without sounding really bad, but humans at the end of the day are natural beings, okay? We have a goal, we have personal values, we have intrinsic value and extrinsic value, and we have a good we aim to acquire. We go through our lives 99% of the time not being fully aware that other people are real human beings just like you. And I know most people out there have looked outside of their window while driving, seen somebody else in a different car, and said to themselves, that person has a life. I don't even know what that life is. It's just so similar to mine. And it's kind of scary to me that I'm not constantly thinking that, because it means I go through my day being very selfish and being very attached to my own interest, as does everybody else, which is where this comes from. you can't really be mad at anybody who has hurt you because they were just acting in their best interest. And you can't really be mad at the person because if you were put in the same situation, you had their same experiences and same chemical and genetic formation, something you can't control, you would have done the same thing. You would have hurt yourself or you would have whatever. Now, I don't want this isn't to take away from the fact that you are totally valid to feel upset about a situation. If somebody hurt you, you are totally valid in being angry at the situation and in being angry or upset about putting yourself in that situation or them putting you in that situation. It's valid. Your feelings are valid. But you can't be mad at the person because they were just working in their best interest. Now you can hurt, you can heal, and you can grow, but there is no benefit in staying upset. There's no benefit in sulking in the anger or hatred for that person. And that's why I think this value holds so much weight in my life because it's what has helped me turn a situation from I'm hurting or I'm angry at the person to I'm hurting about the situation, but at the end of the day, the situation's over with and I can move past and grow. And it's such a profound realization when you notice that your actions are mostly towards your best interest. And I think humans have like such a crazy moral conscience in the sense that we are probably the only species on this planet that can go against our nature, go against our best interest, and still 9 times out of 10, we don't because it's just easier not to. It's your nature. So we do what is in our nature. And when I was thinking about this, I started to think, well, like, it doesn't really go with my religion beliefs, love other people, treat other people the way you want to be treated. How does that have anything to do with following your best interest? I'm not feeding the hungry or the poor. I'm not like doing good deeds for myself. But at the same time, us humans have such a built-in response to helping other people. I know for a fact every time I help somebody else, I find a sense of satisfaction. It brings more satisfaction helping other people than helping myself. And I think a lot of people can agree with that. Um there it's like a built-in desire to help other people because of the way it makes you feel. And I think that's the beauty of life and that's the beauty of like us as humans. It's like we want to go with our nature. Most of that time that nature is working in our best interest, but sometimes our nature is helping other people and that's so beautiful. Like genuinely. And I I remember I don't remember much from high school, okay? But one thing that has stuck with me through and through is the quote one of my teachers said, and I think it's like his words. I don't know if it's anybody else's quote, but he was loosely basing it off of like Ayn Rand's philosophy. And it went something along the lines of Humans are selfish and humans work in selfish ways, but when we can feel a selfish joy in doing selfless things, that is when we change the world. You know, a lot of the best politicians in the world are doing good for the most part. I know politics can be flawed, but a lot of what we consider the best politicians are doing good for the world. And you might think, well, where's the selfish part of that? But it's them feeling like they've been selfless. It's them feeling achieving a goal. It's them achieving respect and them sort of like getting praise from other people for doing this good job. That's why they do it. And that's not wrong. That's good. That's how we should all be working. We should find selfishness in unselfish things. And I don't know if any of that made sense, but I really hope it did. Um yeah, those are 3 of my like biggest beliefs that I carry throughout my life. And I wanted to share that with you guys just because I think if I hadn't heard it, my life would be very different. I would be very different. And I think there is now it might not be true, but I don't think there's a downside in believing any of these or trying to believe any of these. Like lying to yourself that all of these are true. I don't think that there's a harm in that because I personally find beauty in all of these different beliefs. Um so yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.